Viewers, introduce yourself briefly in case someone did not join us last week.
Thank you. Thank you, Beatrice, once again. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm happy again to be here.
Yes.
Terry Micheni is my name, an HR practitioner by Practice.
Yeah.
I have over 13 years of experience in this space, quite some years. Yeah? I'm almost becoming a dinosaur in the HR space with experience in different or diverse industries.
Yes.
Spanning from manufacturing, security sector, banking sector, distribution, name them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I'm happy to be at this
Glad to have you today. Last time we looked at work environment and how it can be toxic, and we looked also the impact of having such. And today we continue from there, but our focus today is on the individual, because sometimes, Terry, what happens is that we look at others and we don't look at ourselves. And that is why we need to look at how to reflect on self as this matter is concerned, because sometimes it's hard to look at yourself. I'm just saying, Terry is making this place conducive for me. Terry always does this. But I need to sit and ask myself, okay, Beatrice, what are you, you know, what role are you playing in this toxicity in the organization? What did you say about that as we introduce the topic?
Yeah. It's very easy to point fingers, and it's very easy to blame others on what is happening in the space. But as you've said, it is very necessary for sometimes, even in relationship, not only in the workplaces, even in any relationship, to sit back and ask yourself, am I really the problem? Might I be the problem in this situation that I've placed myself in? And when you do that, you realize that sometimes you are the controller. Actually, you are the we call it catalyst of the situation, or you are actually the only problem, or you are, if you're lucky enough, you'd have nothing to do with it. Yes. Yeah, so it's important to have that time and ask yourself very, very difficult questions about the situation you're in and what's your contribution about it into it. Yeah.
Maybe my first question is, would I be toxic and I don't know?
It happens most oftenly. Actually, that's why we are saying it is very easy to point fingers, and it becomes not very often you see people saying that I am in this situation, but I am contributing to it. So yeah, it is very possible. It actually happens that most of the time we are the problem, but we are not appreciating. We do not know if we are the problem. So it calls for that intentional self-reflection, intentional looking inward, and understanding who is who within the situation. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, because I'm thinking sometimes why we point on others is maybe we've not identified it, or maybe we're ignoring it, or we are trying to cover ourselves, because I can know I'm actually the but I don't want to
of the situation.
Yes, but I don't want to accept it. So I just let it just say, and I'm happy seeing it happen, and I know I'm behind there, controlling the whole matter, which is quite serious, and it's very bad.
Actually, that is more dangerous when you know you're the problem and you are hiding and then that becomes a dangerous situation. But even on a normal day, when you point big fingers, the way we point, I always tell people, when you're pointing fingers, the others are calling you, please look at yourself. It is one that is pointing others, but all the others are asking you, might you be the problem? Yes, there can be that situation where you are the problem and you know it, but now you become a very dangerous person. You are actually more venomous in terms of poisoning than anyone else who do not know if they are the actual problem. You remember what we said last in our last discussion is environment is not just made, it doesn't just drop. It is one individual that it starts with one or two, then it becomes 3, 4, 5, a group, a team, then entirely the environment. So before even it gets there, if we are all able, if we are intentional and we want to have the right environment, before it gets to spreading the toxicity to others,
yes.
if you can curb it at your space, at where you are, understand if I am the problem and I need to change, if you are able to stop it at that point, then we will not have the environment we are talking about. But then if we do not have that time, or we do not see the need of self-reflection and changing, then we will definitely have to spread, we will spread it out. So as we say, it is a bitter pill to swallow. Telling someone to appreciate that, yes, I am the problem. And actually that's why it is human being by nature. They do not want being told the truth, especially when the truth is the negative truth. By nature we like the positive things. Even when you get yourself into, even your dress code, someone wants to focus on, hey, your hair is good, but when your coat has a stain or has is torn somehow, when you tell me, I will start feeling, I start even looking at Beatrice in another eye, with another eye, because we do not like being told the truth, especially when the truth is not the positive, on the positive side. So this self-reflection is very key. It is hard. It is not an easy thing. It is not something you wake up and decide, let me see if I'm the problem and if I'm the, and then appreciate. Yes, you can say, yes, let me look at it, and have yourself committing, that time of me and me alone, and discuss with me. I actually tell people, for me, I always take time every other day. When I'm driving from work or going from work to home, or when I'm in my own personal space, I ask myself very difficult question. Terry, what did you say today? What did you talk? What kind of discussion? How did you do it? And then when you do those moments of, and normalize taking time and having those discussions with yourself, and counting your actions for the day, or for whatever period it is, counting your actions, you're able to point out some of the things that translate to toxic behavior. But then it calls for intentional, intentional thought process. But this is what I want to identify: if I'm right, if I'm the problem, or I'm not the problem, and where is the problem?
Wow. Maybe what are some of the behaviors? I know there are many. But what are some of the behaviors that will make me think toxic?
As you said, there are many.
There must be many.
There must be many. But then when you're asking yourself this, when you're having this self-time, and you're asking yourself, you are becoming, you are very, you know what you are looking for. So you have a very, you can ask yourself very directing, questions yourself. Ask yourself, am I a bully? One of the behavior of a toxic environment or toxic people is, bullying, gossip. Am I a bully myself? How did I? And at this point is where you just take examples. When so and so approached me, how did I respond? When I received this email for the workplace, how did I respond? What was the feedback? How did I even myself behave even when nobody is seeing? When we talk about discipline is when you do things even when nobody is seeing what is this person, what is Terry as a person, without waiting for people to point you. Because like bullying, am I a gossiper? How do I find myself in a room where people are just talking about others and negatively about others? Am I actually the person who is contributing the most? Am I the person who always is the correct person in the room? Am I the only, is it my way, or there's the way you say it is either my way or the highway? Am I fit in discussion where people are discussing, or where they are dialogue or their conversation? Am I the only knowledgeable person in this space? Do people come to me with only what, when people come to you with only what you want to hear, not what is the right thing? When people respond to you with only what you want to hear, when you ask yourself and you tick to some of those questions, you'll definitely know that I'm contributing. I might not be the only person, because then as if it grew to a toxic environment, then you may not be the only one. But then the question is, am I contributing? Is it what is my contribution in this kind of environment? And if you point if you tick yes in some of these those directing questions that you ask yourself, then you realize that yes, I might be contributing it. Am I the person, am I the master of the gossips, of the cliques that we have, on the politics that we have in the office? Am I the person who just laugh when someone else is going through a season or facing through negative situation? Am I the person who is happy inside? You can fake a smile. Oh, sorry, Beatrice, I'm sorry you're going through this, but deep inside me, I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's see how you navigate out of this one. And when you, because these are the things that you are talking to yourself. Nobody is seeing you. It is just you and you.
It's me.
So when you take some of these, then you realize that yes, I'm really contributing to this. And that's why we're saying you need to be very deliberate on what you're looking. It has to be intentional on what you need to find out. Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing, and I think, as you say, it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy because things are not correct, and I don't want to agree. Sometimes, you know, I actually think of that as human beings, because of that nature of wanting to be appreciated, wanting to be the good people, to be on the good side all the time. Such a step may not be that easy, because it seems that I have to agree with some negatives that touches on me, but I also consider it as such a healthy thing to do, because as we are going to see is after I do this, then how do I move forward? Because after nishatik ndio, then what next? And we're going to look at that, because we should be taking a short break. But I'm looking at the implication of such. If all of us would actually do that in the organization, Terry does it, Beatrice does it, the other person does it like that, and able to identify our contribution in this environment, which we are not really enjoying because of some things. There are things that are happening, and you are complaining about them, or they're affecting how we are working in a department, or we're working in our team. If all of us would reach a point whereby we say we are going to be sincere with ourselves, we're going to check on ourselves. Let me not look at A. Let me look at Beatrice.
Beatrice first.
Let me focus on Beatrice. And the other person focuses on self. Then definitely at the end of it all, it is going to be great. We need to take a short break. Thank you so much for being part of this program. We are taking a short break. Don't go far. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. Welcome back. This is Empower. We are focusing on how to reflect on self as matters of toxicity is concerned in the workplace and also at home, or as we interact with other people, because it's not just at workplace. You also go home, we have friends, we have other people that we relate with. Just think about it as we move forward. Terry, now we talk about self-reflection. How often do we do this?
If you want to be in a very conducive environment, in a enabling environment, You don't want to wait for someone else to come and bring that.
Yeah.
Start from you. So how many times, how often do we do this? We need to make it very often. As I've mentioned myself, I try to, not daily, I wouldn't say I would do it daily, but I take time. And you do not need a whole arrangement for you to do that. There are those times that you just find yourself alone.
It's true.
Can you utilize that time rather than thinking about the negative things or the bills that you need to pay or other, the world is presenting a lot of, adversities and negative things. Rather than reflecting on all those other things, can you take just some few minutes to reflect on yourself so that then as it's not a one-day thing. Actually, even as you reflect and as you find out some things, you may not find them with one instant. It's not a one-sitting thing. When we were talking about disengaged or toxic employees in our last discussion, we said that this toxicity of these employees, as I am a toxic employee, if I reflect and realize that I'm toxic myself, I will also fall victim of the same. So that understanding can push us and can help us and appreciating that as much as I am pointing fingers and as much as I'm looking at others, if I am the problem, I will also fall in the same trap. I will also fall in the same environment. I'll feel bad. So you can imagine if you feel bad from being in a negative environment, how does it feel when you change your behavior and someone else changes theirs, as you just said? If we all change, be intentional in changing, then we will be fitting. Not only at the workplaces, even in other relationships. Even with our spouses, our children, and that's why we talk about the emotional intelligence. You have to be very good, to have a very good emotional intelligence, because that's where we talk about social understanding, social self-awareness, self-awareness, so that then you can know, how am I feeling? What makes me happy? What makes me feel bad? And when you have that self-awareness, then you go to the social awareness. How does my actions, my feeling, my attitude affect the social, the other people that are surrounding me?
A quick question comes to mind. I've sat down. I've ticked the boxes.
There are some yeses.
Some yeses ziko pale looking at me whether I want to agree or not, because we know I don't take yes, I know it's a yes.
No, it is a yes.
So how do I move on from there? Because I want to change, I want to become different now.
You don't just go thinking and thinking yes and then you are like, okay, I'm toxic. You have again to be intentional on how to change that situation. Remember we said what you're not changing, you're choosing. So you have also to again have strategies to change. As we said, it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't.
Behavior, the same way behavior doesn't happen overnight, the same way to eliminate that kind of behavior, it might take time. So you have to talk to yourself and have your own strategies on how to change that behavior. You can even put some timelines. You can even put some reminders even on your phone that I want to, this is how I want to change it. Seek for help. Look for ways that works for you. Remember, we are all unique in our own ways. We are different in our own ways. And coping mechanisms are different. So we have to look and understand who I am as Terry, who you are as Beatrice. This is what you are. This is the state that you are in, and these are Beatrice you want to to bring up. That transition, you need to be very intentional and have strategies on how to change, on how to to get there. You can do all the reflection and find all the faults that you have and desire to have another thing and another Beatrice, but without you being acknowledging that I need to change. It is time. I can't continue like this. And convince yourself that as Beatrice, I want to have a better environment for myself and my colleagues, or for myself and my family, for myself and my community. I have to change. Acknowledging that bit, and being accountable of your actions will be very key for you to change and create a better environment.
When you talk about that, I'm thinking of instances whereby it takes also someone to have some virtues. For example, humility.
To
be able to, first of all, to accept, I have a problem. This is what I'm participating in. I'm actually a contributor in this matter. It doesn't matter the magnitude, but I'm contributing.
Yeah.
So that ability to accept. And also, sometimes some people may also go the other side. Instead of having that humility and accepting it and deciding to move, some people can be also angry with themselves. And should I find myself in a state where I am feeling bad about it? Because people can react that way.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Seek help. Seek help.
Yeah.
There's power in not. Remember, I think even in the Word of God, there are sometimes that we are not even able to pray for ourselves.
I know.
You can find you in a situation that you just, and we say, as women, we say, my tears will pray, will communicate for me. So when it gets to that point where you're in that situation where you are bitter with yourself, you are even bitter with the situation that you found yourself or put others in, you are not able to do it yourself and to make a decision. Seek help. There are people outside here that are ready to help you. You can even talk to your spiritual mentors. Yes.
You
can talk to the counselors or the psychologists. You know, the confidence, the people who are very close and who you can feel free to talk to. Basically, seek help.
Wow.
And pray about it. And you know, it's all prayers changes. Me, I believe, I am a believer that prayers can change situations. Even when you feel very guilt about yourself, just go on your knees and talk to the Most High. That will be able to help you out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That is very good. I know we don't have so much time, but I'm looking at organization now as we wrap up this discussion and last week's discussion. And as a HR, I realize I'm having an environment that is toxic. I'm a people wellness officer, wellness, you know, all those things, happiness manager, you know, all those things. And I realized that I'm facing this environment that is toxic. What can I do?
We said there is that bit of the environment having it and your contribution to that environment. So if the environment is if it is about the environment that I'm working in is toxic, remember what we said last time?
The other time, the options.
There are the options. If you're in a position to change, please change. It's not just for you, it's for you and the other people. Remember, HR is about touching souls. It's about souls. I always tell people, as an HR, when you're looking at your workforce maybe of 20 people, look at other people that are attached to those 20 people. If one of the 20 people is mentally ill, you can imagine the other people that are managing that mental illness, the support team outside work. So when you're dealing with people, you have to remember that you're dealing with souls, human beings with emotions, and you know, and not just the 20 workforce that is in the organization, but a whole clan that is surrounding it. So when you want to change, please change, not just for yourself, not just for the 20, but for the whole community. But then there are those situations that you remember, as an HR, you are the advisor of the organization. I always say HR doesn't birth the culture. The culture is birthed by the executive team. What the HR does is nurture and support, babysit. I use that. It's like the baby. If I have a baby, I give birth to a baby. But my nannies, my nannies babysit this. So HR is like the nanny to the organization culture. Toxic or positive work environment. So nurture that baby. So if you are the nanny to this culture that is, you know, what you need to do is point out those areas that you feel are very toxic. Point out the rest to the relevant parties within the organization. And then that's how you try to change. You have to start pointing out and change. Then if you're not able to change, as an HR, it's very difficult to cope in. You know, we talked about coping mechanism and trying to navigate through it. Yes, you'll try to navigate. But remember, everybody else within the organization, as an HR practitioner, is looking at you. So if you decide, this is the situation you are in, let's navigate, then you're not helping, not yourself, not the others. So the first word is try and change the situation. If it is not changeable, then maybe someone else will come. Maybe it is not within you are able. Remember what we said now, my values, my attitude, my behavior. If it is not within you to change, because not everybody is a change is a change champion. Not everybody can be able to identify the toxic work, including the HR. So if you are one of them and you're able to identify, and but then it is not within your capability to change the situation, allow someone else to come in. But make sure you point out what is not right. But then, as someone was telling me, Terry, there is no perfect organization. There's no perfect. We agree there's no perfect organization. But then we are not saying all organizations are toxic. Remember, it might be imperfect because of your values, because of what is you are aligned to. So having those and being able to make a decision what to do in this environment, then it is very key.
Your parting shot as we close the program, our time is up.
We all want to be appreciated, to feel happy in every environment. If we can only start by me, reflect, change, and look forward to another, a better environment. Look at it not from the what others are feeling or what the environment others are in. Look at what environment would I want to be. And if I change, and Beatrice you change, Kennedy changes, Faith changes, everybody else changes, at the end of the day, we'll create an enabling environment, a place where we are happy, a place where we feel comfortable, understood, and because then, if you do not reflect yourself, they will automatically see you. So it's good to have that self-reflection for you to nurture or to inculcate a very enabling environment within the space that you are in.
Wow, amazing, Terry. Thank you so much for being with us the last 2 weeks. Our time is up. I believe you've learned together with us, and we are going to make the best people. We reflect on ourselves and ensure that the environment you're working in or where we are, even be it our families, we make it conducive for ourselves and for the others. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. God bless you. See you next week.